A very good morning, dear children. I welcome you all to today's session. So students, today we are going to continue our topic of tenses. And what was the first tense we started? Yes, it was simple present tense. Now today we are going to do the negative and interrogative kinds of sentences in simple present tense. So are you ready? Alright. Children, before we actually start the negative and interrogative kind of sentences, let us see where do we use. I know I have already shared it with you in the previous session. So how about a quick recap? Okay, so simple present tense is used when you want to talk about your habits, like I always drink coffee at work. She gets up at 7 a.m. every day. They usually eat dinner at home. Similarly, when you want to talk about present situations, like he works on Wall Street, she is 60 years old, we live in New York. In the same manner, when you want to talk about general facts or truths, like the earth is not flat, there are many seasons. The sun rises in the east. Water boils at 100 degrees C. So these are all factual statements. In the same way, when you want to talk about your future timetables, which are certain, which are sure, or your schedules, your fixed plans, then also we convey them in simple present tense. Like my train arrives tomorrow. We fly to Paris on Monday. Classes begin next week. Okay? So now let us move to our negative form of simple present tense. Now students, the rule is subject, then we have to use your helping verb, do or does. Then not. After that, verb comes in present form and finally object. So when you want to make any sentence which is of negative form using simple present tense, we have to use our helping verbs do or does. Now the question comes, where is do used and where will you use does? Students, you remember where were you using S or ES with your verbs in affirmative kind of sentences? Yes. So wherever we were using S or ES with our verb, in those kind of subjects we will use does. Simply, when you have your subject he, she or it, that means any singular subject or third person personal pronoun, then we use does. Like does not. She does not drink tea. She is my singular subject. Third person personal pronoun. Does is my helping verb. Then I use not. Then drink as verb, first form, and finally my object. Children, when we have our subjects like I, you, or plural subjects like we, they, then we use do as our helping verb. I do not draw picture. Draw is the verb here. Okay, we will see some more examples related to the usage or application of this rule. Now let us come to the question form of sentences. It is very simple. The helping verbs are same. We have to just use them before our subject. And finally, a question mark, because punctuations are very important in English. And again, with the subjects like I, you, we, they, do is used. With the subjects he, she, it or any name, does is used. So it will be do you study lesson. Study is the first form of your verb. Does she drive car? Drive is the first form of verb. Alright? And finally our object, lesson, car. Okay? Keep the rules in your mind. And this is the final layout of using simple present tense. Plus means positive statements, affirmative sentences. It is clearly mentioned with the subjects like I, you, we, they. We are using verb first form. With the subjects he, she, it. We have to use s or es with the verb first form. Okay? Like I eat. He eats. You teach. She teaches. We play. It plays. They watch. He watches. Is that clear? You can refer to the previous video shared all about affirmative sentences in simple present tense. Now comes minus, means negative. Again, with our subjects I, you, we, they, do not is used and verb first form. With the subjects he, she, it, does not is used with the verb form first. And remember children, we have already used es with do. That's why the spelling becomes does. So we will not use any s or es with our verb. Please remember, this is a very important point. When you are using does, you will not use any s or es with the verb. Next examples can be I do not eat. He does not eat. So eat remains eat. You do not play. She does not play. We do not go. It does not go. They do not swim. She does not swim. Okay? Last kind of sentences are ending with question mark or interrogative sentences. You have to simply take your helping verb and put them in the starting before the subject. So do, I, you, we, they, it can be any subject and then your verb. Similarly, does, subject can be he, she, it or any name plus verb. Example, do I play? Do you play? Do we play? Do they play? With does he swim? Does she swim? Does it swim? Does Rohit swim? It is like this. I hope These rules must have been clear to you now. Do remember them, write them, learn them. Okay? We have some more examples. Affirmative, I am a doctor. Negative, I am not a doctor. Interrogative, am I a doctor? So when you're using am, it is the main verb here. We will use not with this verb. There is no do, no does. Because with your verbs is, am, are, simply we use them as our verbs. Remember this point. You are an engineer. You are not an engineer. Are you an engineer? He is at home. He is not at home. Is he at home? She is my sister. She is not my sister. Is she my sister? It is a dog. It is not a dog. Is it a dog? We are friends. We are not friends. Are we friends? So please, it is a very important slide. Whenever you have is or am or are as your main verb in simple present tense, then we are adding the word not to make it negative, and we are taking them before the subject to make them interrogative. Do or does are not used. Okay, so remember this point. With is, am, are, do or does are not used. And another important point, when you have taken your verb is or am or are in the starting, then they are not used again. You cannot say is, she is my sister. It is wrong. Okay? They have come in the front. You have used them before your subject. So is, am, are will not come again in your interrogative sentences. Do not doubly write them. Okay? Now let us have some more examples using the helping verbs do or does. Children, when you have main verbs other than is, am, are, like affirmative, I go. Here go is the main verb. There is no is, am, are. Okay? So when go, play, watch, swim, any action word is there, then we will use the helping verb do or does. And remember the rule, with I, you, we, they. Do is used. With he, she, it, does is used. So I go, I don't go. Affirmative is I go. Negative is I don't go or I do not go. Interrogative, do I go? Do will come in the starting before the subject. Okay, and it will not come again. You cannot say do I do go. It is completely wrong. You go. You is second person pronoun. So you do not or you don't. Interrogative will be do you go? He goes. With the verb go, es will be added because he is a singular third person pronoun. Negative will become he does not go. Es is not used again because we are making does. Okay? So he does not go. Does he go? Similarly, she goes. She does not go. And interrogative, does will come in the starting. Does she go? It goes. It does not go. Does it go? We go. We do not go. Do we go? You go. You don't go. Do you go? They go. They don't go. Do they go? Now, don't is the short form of do not. Practice changing your negative and interrogative from affirmative sentences with some more verbs. Okay. like I play, I don't play, do I play, she paints, she does not paint, does she paint. So like these, keep practicing. Alright? Now the time to go for exercises based on the rules of interrogative and negative sentences. So we have question B. Remember we did question A yesterday? It was of affirmative kind. So today we are going to do negative form. Rewrite these sentences in negative form using do not or does not. Now children, be very careful. See your verb. See the subject. If the subject is singular, does will come. Let us start. Number 1. My son draws beautiful pictures. Now here draws is your verb. My son is the subject. Now my son is singular or plural? Yes, it is singular. So does will come or do will come? You're right, does will come. So it will become my son does not draw beautiful pictures. Okay? It will become does not draw. S will not come here. Alright? Because you are using does. Number 2. Supriya helps her mother in the kitchen. Now Supriya is my subject. It is singular. Helps is the verb. So helping verb will be does. Supriya does not help her mother in the kitchen. And write complete statements. You should do this in your book or your notebook. Write complete sentences. Alright? It will be Supriya does not help. Next, Rohan and his brother wash the family car every Sunday. So the answer, Rohan and his brother. How many people are there? Yes, there are 2 people. Rohan and his brother. So now they become singular, plural. They are more than 1, 2. So they are plural subjects. Now verb is wash. So what will be the helping verb for plural subjects? Yes, it will be do. So the statement will become, negative form will become, Rohan and his brother do not wash the family car every Sunday. Okay? Next, Ela feeds the street dogs in her lane every day. Lane means street. So Ela feeds. Our subject is Ela. It is a name. So it is singular or plural? Yes, you're right. It is singular. So the helping verb will be does not. Ela does not feed the street dogs in her lane every day. Okay? Our next sentence is you know the answer to this question. Now which helping verb we use with you? Yes, with you, do is used. So answer will be, you do not know the answer to this question. Okay? Number 6. Nikita tidies up her room every day. Now Nikita is my subject. It is a name and it is singular. So we will use does. Nikita does not tidy up her room every day. The verb is tidy. T-I-D-Y. Alright? So do the exercise. Understand the rules. Identify your subjects and then use do not or does not. Let us see next. Now we have the next question. Form a suitable question for each of these answers. So students, answers are given to us. We have to write questions on the basis of these answers. Like number 1, yes, I like to watch films. When we answer yes or no, that means someone is asking the same kind of question. Then only we say that yes or no. Now yes, I like. So when you will talk to someone, you will use the word you. And with you, do is the helping verb that comes. So the question becomes, do you like to watch films? Are you getting? Because when you talk to someone, we cannot say I. That someone is addressed with the word you. Okay? You speak you to them. That do you like to watch films? And then only the listener will answer, yes, I like to watch films. Got it? Now let us understand the next. No, they don't talk to their neighbors. So what is the subject here? Yes, the subject is they. And with they, which helping verb should come? You're right. Do is used, right? It's written na don't. That also gives us an idea. Don't means in negative it is do not. So the question will be do. Do they talk to their neighbors? Are you getting? When you ask someone question, then you have to use the helping verb according to the subject. And here the subject is they. Okay. Another clue, another hint is do not is used. So that means in questions also the same helping verb will be used. So it becomes do they talk to their neighbors? Number 3. No, Chitra doesn't like chocolates. Now here the name is Chitra. This is our subject and it is singular subject. So does will be used. Also if you can see here also it is does not. The helping verb is does. So the question is about Chitra. So we will ask Chitra. Does Chitra like chocolates? We will use the verb like as it is and does is used in the starting. Does Chitra like chocolates? And we are making questions, so we will not use not. Okay. Number 4. Yes, I play hockey at school. Now the subject is I. When a person says I, then the person who is asking the question, what subject will he use? If you are talking to someone, what will you use? Yes, you will say you to that person. And with you, which helping verb is used? This example is similar to your one. Okay. So we will use do. Do you play hockey at school? Please understand this thing. The person who is answering, that person is saying, yes, I play hockey at school. So the person who is asking the question will say, do you play hockey at school? Because you are talking to this another person. So you will be used. And with you, helping verb is do. Do you play hockey at school? Now we have next. No, Shanti doesn't swim. The subject is Shanti. Does is the helping verb used here. So we will use same helping verb to make the question. Does Shanti swim? Is that clear? We will not use not. Okay. So it will be does Shanti swim? And remember, proper nouns Shanti, proper noun Chitra, so they will come in capital letter. At the end, question mark will be used. Remember these points. Alright? Please, you can watch it again to understand it further and complete your answers in your book or notebook, whatever you have. Children, that brings us to the end of this session. I hope negative and interrogative sentences are now completely clear to you. You can watch it again. You can watch the other videos related to the same topic which are there on this channel. So happy learning. Attempt your exercises. Goodbye.